All right, and here we go. Some Monty game.
So it's gonna one thing that's gonna be harder to really guess with this tribe is just how things might usually go, as this tribe is very much different than
It's
most
so
of your
different,
normal tribes.
and there's so many different things that you can do with the tribe. All the different texts, the new way all the units work. Blind Asian starting with the T1 boosted warrior
Mm,
versus Ganshed. Let's see what his opening is going to be.
There's also
That's
gonna
going to
be a turn one boosted warrior,
be. Ooh,
but he's
he's
gonna
going to get
lose
it.
his boost attacking the shaman of uh of blind Asian.
Blind Asian's going to get a really nice clean hit on that warrior and convert it. Of
This
course,
might
it's going to get converted back.
yeah, this might be one of the really weird uh slow burns of a warrior early on, just being converted back and forth.
It's just going to get converted back and forth.
Yep. All until it dies. Now the question is, does does Ganshed want to keep converting so they can just boost in that, but he's gonna keep playing the conversion ping pong? And Blind Asian decides not to convert and instead to just kill it and heal up his Isame. So we're gonna see the first usage of hexapods from both players.
Yeah, the hexapod, really interesting way to reinvent the rider. 5 HP but 3 attack, making it really strong. Very non defensive, though.
It's a unit that can
Ooh.
just die on any given hit.
And Blind Asian Shaman is gone. That is a big loss.
So now we're probably gonna see Gansett focus on just boosting whatever he has off his. Well, actually no, because uh Gansett's gonna lose his Starman too. So both neither player's gonna really have Starman. I'm gonna see this very low defense battle.
Yeah, really interesting.
It looks almost as if this fight is gonna be very advantageous for Blind Asian though, given the sort of unit advantage he has.
Looks like we're getting some hexapod spam.
One thing, one thing about Cymanti that's very hard to really make use of is just if you're forced,
Ooh.
you don't really have too many good options as you don't have roads to really save you,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to rely on hexapods will die way too easily. So
Lots of hexapods from Blind Asian.
well, hexapods is definitely gonna be the name of the game for both players. As long the only real problem for Ganshed is just he's not gonna be able to really make use of hexapods at least for now while he's still playing defense. But if
Yeah,
Ganshed can get an offense going, he can get back into hexapods and sort of get that advantage back.
I'm curious if the hexapod's going to stay a 2-star unit or if it's going to become 3 stars like the regular rider. At 2 stars, they're pretty darn potent, but their lack of defense is certainly a big drawback.
That said,
They
Ganshead's
just get
gonna get a veteran hexapod, which is gonna be a sort of stronger rider that can't be veteran. So that veteran's gonna be very valuable for at least taking at least a few hits.
yeah. Another interesting look for Blind Asian here would be climbing with all the mountains and using the creep movement bonus that hexapods are able to have. Oh my god, that's PJ.
That said, this is still a tiny map, which means you still have your typical advantages of just the amount of cities. It's while it's not, the four versus three games that we've been seeing for a while now. It's still two cities versus three cities. So if Blind Asian can keep up the hexapod advantage, he might just be able to take this by just sheer numbers.
Has a 6th village been uncovered, or are we going to just have 5 this game?
It looks as though we're gonna just have five.
There could still be villages in the north and the south quarters.
Yeah. That's it. It looks as though Blind Asian's just gonna go for the immediate kill and try to and not really worry about if there's villages over there.
Yeah, and therein is exposing the weakness of hexapods. That while they're so potent, they're so easy to kill. They're very not a great unit for sieging, but they're very good for unsieging.
Well, one thing about sieging with hexapods is that on most cases, when you siege a city, you get to kill off some of its economy, but it's very expensive to use that many units to siege. But with hexapods being so cheap, you can sort of just throw one away on a siege.
True, very true.
Myself and Disco
Blind agent.
How's it going, guys?
Ooh,
and
and
Ganshed is gonna get the first
And yeah,
centipede with
blind agent
hexapods
kind
everywhere.
of.
Centipede will be very hard to do anything about.
All right. I think that's it for the first game.
And now you're starting to see that with the game
Ganshed
changing
can get
state of
that
just a
runes too.
centipede at
That
all,
could
Blandation is gonna now start focusing on finding, the sixth and seventh villages of the map. Try to just find some other way of dealing with this instead of fighting the hexapod head on. Because as you can see, the hexapod is very strong, very hard to stop.
Yeah, you have to also worry about the segment too. So even though that it's only a 20 health unit, it essentially regenerates unless you can kill the whole darn thing, tail and all.
Yeah, that might be the one thing that kills blind agents for this game, just not being able to find a way of dealing with the hexapod. I mean, not the
We're gonna
hexapod, with
have
this
a lot of
centipede.
really early fights.
But one thing that the bugs have going for it, ooh, the no movement bonus.
Yeah, I think blind agent was hoping there was a movement bonus from the whatever it's called. I don't actually know what it's called,
Mycelium,
but
yeah.
but there's not one. So what it's mostly just gonna serve for is making a way of trying to upgrade one of his cities so they can get a centipede of his own. Because as you can see, the segment a new centipede can just reset any progress that Polynesian gets. It's just gonna be a bigger problem as the game goes on. It's interesting.
Mm.
Something interesting is that Ganshet's still making warriors off his east city on the fear that Blind Asians just got hexapods waiting for him, which is something that you might not really think about as much for normal tribes. But again, without roads, warriors have a much harder time really finding the battlefield.
Hmm. Yeah, he's just trying to play it solidly right now, but it looks like he's going to get that third city. Two more cities have been since uncovered, kind of what we expected. But again, it could be too little too late, unfortunately.
Mm. The real fear for Blind Asian is just gonna be even if he gets the city almost immediately to the centipede.
Well, there's the gate of power. Only he could find a way.
Seems as though Gansard's reading what the mycelium does just to see if it's helpful for the situation versus for population.
Also, this is a real bummer that um, Blind Asian is going to lose his ability to get the giant because he's going to lose the pop from the mycelium, making it that much harder. He would have just been able to do Gate of Power and get his centipede, but now he's going to also need like forestry or another mycelium connection.
Yeah. But we
We
can
get a
definitely get
mycelium
almost
connection
give
on
him
that
a
village
way
in
out
the
towards
corner.
the end,
Yeah, he
despite
can get one on
such
the
a
South
bad.
Village.
Well, he can get one on the North Village as well, because if I remember correctly, you
Yeah,
can make them
it's
in
one per city. Yeah. Oh,
So as long as you can get. Oh, that wasn't his village. I thought that was his village.
okay. So we did go for forestry.
Interesting choice of what to kill. He needs to save his hexapod for later, but the cost of that he really can't do much damage. Now we're probably going to see Blind Agent also lose his South City. There's going to be a huge loss, and it's going to make everything be reliant on if the centipede can just end the fight. And mycelium and hunting. It looks as though that's it. Probably another way of getting another centipede somewhere.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Speed
Still
number
not quite
two.
sure on the mycelium placement though. Could have gotten both cities with one of them.
Um, yeah, I think you're right. If he had placed it in his capital,
Yeah, that's one really good thing about mycelium is that
you can get a
they
lot of
can,
connections for cheap.
yeah,
Oh, and Blind is just gonna scorched earth that city, leave it with no room to grow. Dirty move.
said you can get rid of all the other stuff, but you can't get rid of the metal. So if Ganshed just gets mining, you can still upgrade that city without really having too
Mm,
many issues.
very true.
And also, he's now got his centipede a little bit too far away to protect Ganshed centipedes just walking up to the capital.
Very, very true.
I believe I have a comment asking if the game will go into Dumex late game spawns, but one of the things special about Tiny Map is that a lot of late game spam options that you typically see in most games probably won't come up. Uh, with two centipedes of Ganshed facing down Blind Ace and with Ganshed being able probably having a good option to just seize the capital next turn or so. Maybe we might not even see any Dumexes anytime soon.
Yeah, we might not be able to see the full range of all the really awesome Cymanti units. The archers Also, a really fun unit, and obviously the water units, the Rachis. All sorts of cool new abilities.
Yeah. Also, one of the things is we're not going to see as much as a usage of poison. Well, we might see the defenders that Cymanti has, but that might be the only usage of poison we see all game. Ooh. One thing that uh one thing that Cancer is able to make great use of is just poison and then killing it to get some more resources in that bottom city much faster.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely gonna help, especially since both players are trying to get a lot of segments everywhere that they really can't do much with.
There's money. Blind Asian trying to hold on with defenders and hexapods here.
Mm. That said, just like normal defenders, one of the big worries that you might see was just a defender spam is not being able to push an offense yourself. As we saw in the first game, being able to push an offense, even if it's just a scary looking one that doesn't attack, it's a very good it's a very good play just for the long game. And there's the siege of the capital.
Mm. That's game.
And that just might be the end of the game and the end of the series. Also, one thing to note is that Ganshed is now seeds every single city of Blind Asians, which just means that Blind Asians not gonna get any more next turn. And that's
And
the
last
game.
game.
I guess he decided to just let him capture instead of resigning.
Very gentlemanly of Blind Asian.
In another centipede off the ruins.
All right. Well,
That's GG.
Yep.
I believe that is GG.
Well done, mate.
Well done. It was very fun. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, Cymanti can be pretty tough.
I
Yeah.
thought I had you at the beginning, dude. I really did. I was like, all right, I'm still in this, and then nope.
Yeah. One of the things was the centipede came out and then it was just like You have to find a way of fighting a centipede, or
Yeah.
the centipede just kills, dies, makes a new centipede, and kills some more.